Water sports athlete.
There are many ways you can glide across the water and enjoy Earth's energy and gravity. And whatever sport you do, you know it takes a lot of time to become proficient, let alone good at any of these sports, whether it's surfing, bodyboarding, windsurfing, whether you want to be loyal to the foil. We know we're all just trying to go out there and have fun, but can you be great at all of these?
Our special guest today is proficient, if not excellent, at least a half a dozen or 8 of these, and holds a title in almost just as many. We're calling our special guest, Kai Lenny, the ultimate waterman.
The vast majority of humanity abides by the simple law of gravity and natural forces. Others seem to defy the preconception and law of averages, especially in board sports. There is a whole list of challenges in the learning curve of most of the disciplines. To simply get good at any of these board sports might take years, even decades, of dedicated practice, trial, and error. To get good at several different disciplines should certainly take a lifetime, and to master most, if not all of them, is indeed very rare. To do so in your 20s is 1 in a billion. 27-year-old Kai Lenny is the living, breathing anomaly, the quintessential omni-surfer of today, that 1 in a billion waterman.
My name is Kai Lenny. I'm a professional ocean athlete, 27 years old, from the island of Maui. I do feel that I am a product of my environment. If I was born somewhere else in the world, I'm not sure I'd be doing everything that I'm doing. I think it was being born in the right place at the right time when many of these ocean water sports were emerging as new sports and the industries were converging on the North Shore of Maui.
Kai Lenny's home base of Maui has always been a destination for diverse ocean sports with its consistent surf and even more consistent, strong wind patterns. The island has evolved into a hotbed for ocean sports, and with multiple world titles in several categories, Maui's Kai Lenny has found himself at the epicenter.
It's not just a passion, but it is an addiction. If I really sat down and thought about how I would structure my life or how things would be kind of laid out before me, it always comes back down to riding waves, being in the ocean, and any meeting, any family trip, any obligation is, well, there's a swell, I gotta like rearrange around that.
And being in or on the water is exactly where Kai Lenny wants to be. From his first experience surfing to riding a wave on a board, Lenny was all in and recalls his first ride in detail.
First wave ever was maybe the greatest day of my life because it started me on this incredible quest to become a surfer. All the decisions I've made since then have been around riding waves. I can remember being on the beach as a 4-year-old kid. Both my parents went out surfing on the outer reef at Ukamehame Beach, and I was with the other parents and kids on the sand. My parents left a board for me on the sand to paddle around since I was getting into that, and I can remember looking down the beach about 100 yards and seeing a perfectly breaking A-framed wave and kind of just feeling like it was something I had to go do. I had to get on my board and I had to paddle down there. Hard to explain why I was thinking that, but it just felt like the right thing to do. And so without anybody really noticing on the beach, I grabbed my board and paddled up and down the beach a few times to warm up and went to the wave. And when I sat there, it kind of reminds me of when I sit in a big wave lineup now. I was scared, I was intimidated, I felt like I was way out to sea, I was alone, and when this perfectly blue, crystal clear wave came in, I just remember going, all right, this is it. Turning my mom's board around, paddling as hard as I could, and just standing up. At the time, I was actually Goofyfoot because my favorite surfer was Tommy Carroll. And I can remember dropping in and seeing the nose of the board just purling with water splitting off the nose and hanging on and riding through that and feeling the white water come behind me and the sound. It was so emotional and exciting that I had this crazy rush that went over me, something I hadn't felt in my life until that point. And I think that's when I truly got the bug for surfing. I rode that wave out into deep water, and I looked down the beach and I could see all the parents cheering and clapping, and everyone was stoked, and I was like invigorated as a little kid. I'm like, I know this is what I'm gonna do the rest of my life, is ride waves.
You live life on the go, and now so does your mortgage application with FHB Digital. It's easy and fast with features that gather your documents or make it simple to upload them yourself. FHB Digital provides personalized mortgage options to suit your budget. And if you have questions, just ask a loan officer. FHB Digital. Bank at the speed of your life with First Hawaiian Bank.
At Doctors of Waikiki, we're passionate about providing expert urgent care to Hawaii's residents and visitors.
We offer a smart and convenient alternative to your local ER. Our average wait time is less than 15 minutes.
Open 7 days a week with an in-house x-ray, pharmacy dispensary, and extensive laboratory capabilities, plus free Waikiki transportation and a multilingual staff.
So, be treated, not seated.
Call Doctors of Waikiki today.
At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two, like how nice it is to save on your auto policy. But it's even nicer knowing that if this happens, or this happens, or this, or this, or even this, we've seen and covered it. So switch to Farmers and you could save. Get a quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Beginning with this year's elections, voting gets a whole lot easier.
Your mailbox is your ballot box.
Your ballot packet comes to you in the mail.
But only if you're a registered voter. If you need to register or update your address, do it today at elections.hawaii.gov.
Look for your free Hawaii elections guide in the newspaper or at these locations statewide.
The deadline to register for the general election is October 5th. So don't delay.
Hawaii votes by mail.
Welcome back. Learning about Kai Lenny's earliest experience in the water certainly gave us some insight to how dedicated he is to all the water sports he's mastered. We also see how supportive his family is and how he's got all the right sponsors to fuel his agenda.
Now look, to get that good at all of these different disciplines takes something extra, something more, something very special.
With solid support from friends and family, compounded by a built-in burning desire to glide across water, Lenny evolved. But while dedication, proper preparation, raw talent, and the desire to experiment are all the key ingredients for success, Lenny holds that certain spark. Lenny is admittedly possessed and, in fact, in love.
It is really incredible that being a surfer, you can never ride enough waves. What usually slows me down is being exhausted from surfing for 10 hours straight and having to take a break. But in my head, all I want to do is get another wave. It's like you're almost fulfilled with a ride and you need another one to try to get that feeling again. Maybe it's just another way of being in love with a feeling, an emotion. The ride is so unique to surfing that it's not, replicable in any other facet that I have found, be it in sports, be it video games, be it anything. And I think that's what really does bring us back consistently, is that feeling of you're satisfied, but you still feel like there's something missing. And when you get the ride of your life, that it is the ride of your life, because in that moment you could go straight in and be perfectly content. The only time I've ever felt that way in my entire life has been my very first wave at 4 years old. Like, I felt content in that moment. And I'm still chasing the ride of my life. It's led me to riding giant waves out at Jaws, surfing pipe, surfing places like Nazaré and Mavericks, traveling around the world in search of that feeling. And I haven't quite found it yet. I've been close. And the day I find it, I think will be the second greatest day of my life.
Hawaii Cares, formerly the Crisis Line of Hawaii, is here to connect you and your loved ones to crisis support, mental health resources, and substance use treatment services. If you're feeling anxious, depressed, suicidal, or if you need to discuss treatment options, call 1-800-753-6879 or text Aloha to 741-741, available 24/7. Call Hawaii Cares, because we care.
Plumbing problems?
No problem. Costy's Plumbing.
Drain problems?
No problem. Costy's Plumbing.
Toilet problems?
No problem. Costy's Plumbing.
Water heater problems?
No problem. Costy's Plumbing. Hey, tired of our plumbing problems? No problem.
Call Steve's Plumbing, providing quality service with Aloha since 1987.
Call Steve's Plumbing today.
Aloha, and welcome back to our special look at Kai Lenny, the ultimate waterman. By now we know that Lenny is exceptionally gifted and talented, but nobody reaches those heights without a little bit of guidance. Kai acknowledges the pioneers and examples that came before him.
Kai Lenny is acutely aware that as an impressionable, curious young man, it was those around him who showed him the path.
Without a doubt, I've been heavily influenced into getting into all the sports that I do in the ocean because of people like Robbie Nash, Dave Kalama, Rush Randall, Laird, the Straps crew. They were a heavy influence when I was younger. They were the example right before me. There wasn't social media, and the videos that I was watching were very relatable from them because it was in my own backyard.
The many friends and families and uncles and cousins know all too well the enthusiasm and stoke that lives within Kai Lenny to stay so dedicated to his craft. It is evident that this is not just a career or a fun hobby for Kai Lenny. It's his entire life, front and center. Preparation is paramount in Lenny's world, and his attention to detail and do-it-yourself attitude are far more than just good performance. In Lenny's world, it's also about survival.
There is for sure kind of the survival idea that you want to mitigate the risks as much as possible, and that means having faith and trust in your equipment and not having to second guess it. So a lot of times when I do enter a big wave session, I am thinking about if I have everything, like my ducks in a row, for example, so that when I do hit the water and I'm paddling out, it's the least of my worries. I don't have to worry about anything except for myself and the wave, my performance and the ride. I just want to cut everything down, cut all the noise out, get rid of the clutter in my mind so that it's just a pure focus. And there's no second guessing it. Oh, I should have gone for that wave, but my fin felt loose, or did I screw that in? The small stuff I want to get rid of. Mitigating risk is important with having a good preparation prior to the execution. I'm a perfectionist by nature. I'm meticulous with my equipment because I just really feel like I want to maximize everything and my potential, not only as an athlete, but with the stuff that I'm riding. If I can have everything as dialed in as I possibly can, perhaps that's going to help my performance out in the water, and I'm going to be able to pull something off that's amazing. I know I only have so much time to achieve what I want to in my career, in my life. And so might as well do it the best I could possibly do it. I don't know, it just adds to the whole experience.
You live life on the go, and now so does your mortgage application with FHB Digital. It's easy and fast with features that gather your documents or make it simple to upload them yourself. FHB Digital provides personalized mortgage options to suit your budget. And if you have questions, just ask a loan officer. FHB Digital. Bank at the speed of your life with First Hawaiian Bank.
When the rock needs a replacement, they call a professional like me. And when the rock's replacement needs rock replacement, I call a professional too, like Big Rock.
The Hawaii Stone and Garden Product Professionals. We at Big Rock have been in business locally for over 30 years as a trusted stone manufacturer.
So don't get stuck between a rock and a hard place. Call or come into Big Rock in Mo'opuna.
Trust me, we're not your average rock group.
Filipino.
Countryside Cafe for your favorites like homemade corned beef loco moco and walk through the country special. Plus, our lighter side with menu items great after a hike or a day at the beach. So come on down to the west side, the best side. Our side, Countryside.
Join us for this year's Aloha Festival celebration, Namele Ukulele.
Hear performances and mo'olelo from Pomai Kai'laiman, Kavika Trask, and Jake Shimabukuro.
Thursday, September 24th at 9:30 p.m. on KHON2.
We're back and ready for some more extreme action as we explore the life and story of Kai Lenny, one of the world's top watermen. We got more on Kai in a little bit, but first we're going to head over to Oahu's North Shore, where we got some serious swell action at the world's Banzai Pipeline. Check this out. The Banzai Pipeline never disappoints when it comes to raw power and action. That was intense. Now let's move on and get right back to Kai Lenny's story, because this time it's all about the learning curve.
For the majority of wave riders on this planet, it is my humble estimation that 99.8% of them should certainly be careful what they wish for. Doing what Lenny does and wants to do is, without question, death-defying. In Lenny's case, with his careful preparation, stunning talent, and wide range of ocean knowledge, I just can't wait to witness the next attempt.
I had some big plans coming into 2020. I was focused on traveling to every big wave break in the entire world in order to push myself to a point in big wave riding that would have taken me 3 years with my normal kind of approach of years prior. I really wanted to just go to the next level, and I have been stuck in Hawaii because of this giant pandemic and can't go anywhere. So my vision has shifted. If anything, that premise of attack every swell has been delayed. And right now, I'm trying to button up all my weaknesses across all my sports. I want to become a more complete shortboarder in the smallest waves so that it'll help me in the biggest waves. I want to invent maneuvers in every single sport, and so long as I'm stuck here on Maui, I'm going to try to find conditions to do a new maneuver, because that I know will fuel me to go to the next one. It's really about trying to be better every single day, to go as fast as possible and to fly as high as possible. I think so long as I am and everybody else is having fun doing what they're doing, or at least carving out a moment in the day where they can have fun, I think it keeps our youthful spirit alive. For me, when I'm having fun, I'm performing my absolute best. I'm learning new maneuvers. I'm getting creative with ideas for media, for other things, and I just feel fulfilled and content. And it really does just stem from having fun. It doesn't have to be an 80-foot wave to get me there. It could be riding a small wave, but it's letting go of the busy thoughts that are swirling in my head and truly trying to be 100% in the moment at whatever point I am during the day. And I really am trying to learn that more and more. Trying to just take a breath and breathe in, you know, the salty air that I'm very lucky to be surrounded by here in Hawaii.
Hawaii Cares, formerly the Crisis Line of Hawaii, is here to connect you and your loved ones to crisis support, mental health resources, and substance use treatment services. If you're feeling anxious, depressed, suicidal, or if you need to discuss treatment options, call 1-800-753-6879 or text Aloha to 741-741. Available 24/7. Call Hawaii Cares because we care.
Roofing isn't just a job for us. Roofing is in our blood.
From our management to our roofers.
It's a total family affair at Torrey's Roofing.
With our years of experience and longevity roofing in Hawaii, we look to continue servicing your homes with the next generation.
As our dad always said, our warranties are only as good as our reputation.
And we stand by that. So give us a call. We can't wait to have our family over to work for you.
Torrey's Roofing, family run, family operated.
Kalakaua Gardens, Honolulu's premier senior living community, offers a full range of senior living options with a friendly, attentive staff. From independent and assisted living to skilled nursing and rehab services, all in one convenient location. Delicious meals prepared to meet Hawaii's diverse tastes, daily programs and activities to suit all interests, and featuring our new Aloha Advantage plan. Call us today to see how you can save $1,500 off your monthly rent.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Looking at all the accolades, the great contest performances, video parts, appreciation from fans and his peers, you'd think this would be everything any waterman could ever ask for. Now, don't get me wrong, Kai Lenny is one stoked, humble, and appreciative human being. But I'll also tell you, the man has some unfinished business.
The good preparation and talented follow-through time and time again has won Lenny trophies, paychecks, and the admiration of his peers. Despite being considered one of the preeminent big wave riders in the world, there's one nagging gap to fill in Kai Lenny's trophy room.
The one that has eluded me the most has been the Jaws Challenge, the best big wave event in my opinion right now, because it is the big wave that's in my backyard. It was the first big wave that I really was going after. It's where my heroes rode, and to kind of cement myself as one of the greats out there, I believe you have to win that event. I don't think I'm ever playing with Jaws, mainly because that wave is the most terrifying big wave that I surf in the world, because it is so heavy. It's a giant backdoor pipeline, or some would compare it to even huge V-land, just on a giant scale. But when I do get in the rhythm of being out there and I'm in sync with the ocean and the waves are coming in and I kind of feel like I'm intertwined with that energy, I do feel a calm that comes over me, and that fear and anxiety sort of just wipes away, and it's the moment I feel the most empowered, maybe the closest I've ever felt to feeling like a king in my own mind. Because when I'm going down that wave, all I see on that wave is a world of opportunity. It's a giant canvas to do big turns, big barrels, and having blind faith in what the wave's gonna do because of my experience out there, I can position myself and stay calm without panicking under the pressure of seeing a wave folding over me that's 60 feet tall. Sometimes it doesn't work out, and I've been through that experience as well, but I've dedicated every single year to hitting every single swell, be it windy or glassy, and the experiences I take out of that, I think I do find a comfort when I'm on it. And it's not cocky by any means. I have the highest respect because I have paid many prices out there, from losing a jet ski to cutting my hand severely, slicing my foot in half, hurting my ligaments, you know, be it my toe this winter or my MCL as well. Every year I feel like I put my blood, sweat, and tears into that place, and I am rewarded with the greatest rides of my life so far. And I'm just hoping that'll line up when the contest comes around. And I just see that place we're barely scratching the surface of what's possible on a performance level. I hope that I can get to a place where I think I'm worthy of doing the maneuvers that are in my mind.
Kai Lenny is one amazing waterman, the ultimate waterman, an even greater human being, and he's still under 30, so we're going to be tracking his moves throughout the coming years.
That's right. And that's a wrap for this special look at Kai Lenny, the ultimate waterman. I'm Mike Latronic.
And I'm Chris Latronic.
Aloha.
Telecast of Kai Lenny, the ultimate waterman, was brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank and Hawaii Cares.